did see something interesting, Brian. This is just something just came to the top of my mind. I saw some results from a study conducted in Spain where a combination of the first dose of AstraZeneca's vaccine with the second dose of Pfizer's vaccine actually seemed to be much more effective, at least created much higher antibody levels, neutralizing antibody levels than the AstraZeneca vaccine by itself or two doses of Pfizer's vaccine. So it hasn't been peer reviewed yet, relatively small study. Who knows if it'll be confirmed, but that's at least interesting to me that, that some of these mix and match possibilities could create some interesting market dynamics here.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense because they're all developing it to the spike protein, which is the outside part that attaches to the cell to inject its RNA into the cell that ends up making more virus. And so, but they're not necessarily the proteins aren't necessarily exactly the same. They're part of the spike protein, but they may not fold exactly the same. And so it would make sense that getting more than one vaccine might be beneficial in creating sort of different kinds of antibodies. And then when you're measuring neutralizing antibodies, you're basically just throwing all the antibodies in with the virus, and so that would allow them to bind to different parts of the virus and theoretically, have a higher blocking level than an individual.
Yeah, and there's some other mix and match clinical studies going on that I'm sure we'll be talking about some in the future, because it could be interesting to see how efficacy varies when you mix and match different vaccines together. And I'm not sure that will necessarily impact the market in a huge way going forward, because my hunch is that after this year, maybe after sometime into next year, that we'll probably transition to single shot booster doses instead of multiple doses. And if that happens, as I suspect will happen, then these mix and match studies might not matter all that much.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're probably going to get pretty close to where we are with the flu vaccines, where you go in and get the flu vaccine, but you don't know what brand you got. I mean, it's sort of weird that, that's probably true of most vaccines. I think the COVID-19 is probably one of the few exceptions where people actually know what brand of vaccine they got.